Hello and welcome back to the AA NBA podcast. I'm your host, Aiden Hammond.
And I'm Aditya.
And today we have a very special guest to help us with our playoff predictions, our buddy Ryan Hudson.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, he wanted to do this, so
yeah.
Being the great friend that I am, I brought him on.
And we've been wanting to have him on for a while. We've had Noah on before. We've been talking about having Ryan on for a while, so this is just a good opportunity to do that. But before we get into our playoff predictions, we're going to go through 2 weeks worth of news. So, Article 1, half the NBA has a fucking coronavirus, it seems.
There's like 20
It
players.
seems like a new player has the coronavirus every day, and it's starting to freak me out a little bit. I feel
it's like 20 or 25 players have it.
Yeah, but it's enough where it's... I don't know if it's putting the season in jeopardy, but it's enough where it could be a problem. It's worrying.
It would be a problem if any of like the important teams had a lot of players, but it's like the Nets and the Kings and stuff.
Yeah. We should also talk about that. So the Nets have like 6 players that have tested positive for the coronavirus, all of them being or I guess most of them being major producers, because I guess Nick Claxton has it and he's not exactly a big part of that team.
Kyrie's not going. Wilson Chandler's not going. DJ's not going. Spencer Dinwiddie's not going.
Yeah. And of course, Nick Claxton.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
One of the greatest basketball players of all time. So that's 5 players. So Karis LeVert is the only player of, I would say, the Nets' big producers that doesn't have it. Which is a problem. Because Karis LeVert he's pretty good. He's, a good scorer, decent, playmaker, okay defender, but like he's nothing special. Like the Nets are not gonna probably make it with just him. Yeah, but Noah's also a Michigan fan, so his opinion doesn't matter on matters of Michigan players. He thinks that Trey Burke is good, so I mean, we.
You can inject at any time if you have something.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah.
We can go through the news. Ryan, if you want to, if we just want to go through the news and then you can, talk more during the predictions, that's cool too, because I know that's what you really wanted to do.
I'll just hop in if I have something to say.
Yeah, there you
go. Okay. And then we have a couple signings. So, the Los Angeles Clippers have signed Joakim Noah. And the Phoenix Suns have gone full tank season, and they signed Cameron Payne.
He doesn't matter.
Didn't they sign him for 2 years?
Yeah.
Yes, they gave him a 2-year deal. Yeah. Who the fuck gives Cameron Payne a 2-year deal? Why would you do that?
The Bulls did when they wanted to lose.
I know, but I'm talking 2020 Cameron Payne. I don't think he's played a game of basketball since last season.
Didn't the Raptors sign him and then waive him immediately or something?
Yeah, I think they got him at the trade deadline with Marc Gasol or something. I think he was one of those trade deadline weird signings. Yeah. And then I would say the biggest signing of this whole coronavirus free weird little free agency period is fucking J.R. Smith got a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I mean, he's still a solid player.
Dude, I would not be surprised if the Lakers championship odds go down. He is not a good basketball player anymore.
Yes, he is.
Dude, J.R. Smith is not a producer on a championship team. He is not that caliber of a player anymore.
He's just there to hit some threes. He doesn't have to be a 15-point per game scorer.
Yeah, they just want him to hit threes. That's all.
I know, but the dumb shit that he does, I feel outweighs the 2 or 3 threes that he might make in the playoffs a game. It's just it seems like a needless
brain fart in the finals, but other than that, what else has he done with LeBron there? When LeBron left, sure, he threw a bowl of soup at his coach, but LeBron wasn't there. He's like his parent.
I just don't. There are so many other free agents on the buyout market right now that could.
Not really.
Yes, Yes, there are. Jamal Crawford has not been signed
Jamal
yet.
Crawford is worse than JR. He'll give you like
That's
10
absolutely
points,
not
and the
true.
person he's guarding will give him 30.
Yeah, I'd rather have JR too, just simply because Jamal Crawford's a complete liability on defense.
I mean, J.R. Smith isn't good either on defense. And
Better than Jamal Crawford.
Jamal Crawford is not going to do the dumb shit that J.R. Smith does.
J.R. Smith,
you don't have to be that good on defense to be better than Jamal Crawford.
Yeah, you just have to be
true.
on the defensive end, and you're already better.
But the major problem with this signing is that I don't really like what J.R. Smith does on the court. Sure, he can bring okay basketball to a championship team, but the problem is he is a liability at some points when he acts like a shithead. That's
but
a problem.
He doesn't do that when LeBron's
and he does
there.
that
LeBron's
frequently.
like his parent.
He did it in 2018. He did it in a fucking finals game.
That was
a fucking dumb shit move.
Court.
He's the reason why LeBron James got swept in the finals again.
They would have gone to overtime?
Yeah, they still might not have won that game.
It was tied.
It wasn't.
It was tied when he did that. He made it so LeBron could not get a shot off.
I mean,
and
who cares if it goes to 4 or 5?
2018 playoffs, LeBron would have hit that shot. There's no doubt in my mind.
Even if he did, it goes to 5 games. Who cares? They just lose 1 game later.
Yeah.
At that point, there was no hope for them to win that series unless Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson all went down.
ISO Joe's on the buyout market.
He was signed and then he was waived immediately.
There are a decent. What I'm saying is there are a decent amount of veteran guards on the buyout market that are not going to throw away a championship like JR will.
He didn't throw a championship.
Dude, okay, he threw
Are you telling me if J.R. Smith didn't do that, they would have won the series?
No, but it would have been less embarrassing.
I can say that he might have thrown that game, but he definitely didn't throw the championship.
No. I know that he didn't throw away the championship, but he threw away a championship game. Like, you can't throw away a finals game and still be... Like, that's why he hasn't gotten signed. J.R. Smith's on-court stuff, he's fine. But, like, when J.R. Smith does a boneheaded move, it fucks up the whole team for, like, maybe an entire series.
Accidents happen.
Okay, let's move on. Is there anything else? Any other news that we've
Bradley Beal said he might not play. Yusuf Nurkic and Zach Collins are both expected to start. And
they're expected to start by Damian Lillard.
Yeah, but he would know better than us.
Yeah. And then Victor Oladipo, his decision on whether or not he's going to play is still up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into it. Does everybody have a... Oh, wait, hold on. Woj-bomb?
Oh, Woj-bomb?
Houston Rockets forward Thabo Sefolosha is opting out of Orlando restart.
Oh,
guys,
no.
Dude, that was a massive bomb.
All right, so if you guys want to pull up a NBA bubble team list, and then we can do that. So are they doing it 1 to 16, or are they doing it West and East?
I did East and West. I don't know what they're doing.
I just assumed they were doing East and West.
Yeah, because they haven't told us otherwise.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm just gonna read through all the teams that are going to Orlando, I guess. Just for anyone that doesn't.
Will you send me that list, please? Because I can't find a definitive list quickly.
I just wrote it down.
Okay.
But so the teams that are going in the East are the Bucks, Raptors, Celtics, Heat, Pacers, Sixers, Nets, Magic, and Wizards. In the West, it's the Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Jazz, Thunder, Rockets, Mavericks, Grizzlies, Trailblazers, Pelicans, Kings, Spurs, and Suns. So those are all of the teams that are going.
It's the 1 through 9 in the East and the 1 through 13 in the West.
Yeah, I'm sending you a picture of it now. But I think, yeah, me and Ryan both have our entire playoff predictions written down.
Oh, I didn't make any predictions. Like
Wow.
I
Imagine
just thought
being
we were gonna
so
go through the
unprepared.
seeding. All right.
Well, you
So
can just make
let's
them
just
up on the fly.
Yeah,
let's
it's
just
not
talk
that
about
hard.
seeding 1 through 8 for both conferences. So my 1 through 8 for the East. Actually, I'll do the East first. I've got Bucks, Raptors, Celtics, Heat, 76ers, Pacers, Magic, Wizards, and then Nets being left out.
Yeah, I have that exact same list, but I have a little star next to the Wizards because if Bradley Beal doesn't go, then it'll be the Nets.
I think I literally
Yeah.
have the exact same 1 through 8.
The East
So
wasn't
we
that
all
hard.
agree
The
that
West is where it gets interesting.
the Nets are the most likely team to be left out.
Yeah,
I would
if
say.
If
Bradley,
Bradley
Beal
Beal
plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Bradley Beal plays, the Nets will be left out.
All right, in the West, who you got in?
For the West, I have got the Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Rockets, Jazz, Thunder, Mavericks, and then I would say Grizzlies.
Solid. You want to give yours?
So the only major change is that the Rockets jumped 2 seeds to the 4.
I have Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Rockets, Jazz, Thunder, Dallas, and then Memphis. So I literally have the exact same thing.
Mine's different.
Again.
I have Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Thunder, Rockets, Mavericks, Jazz, Grizzlies. I have the Jazz falling because I don't think they're going to get along.
But for that 8 seed in the West, I can definitely see like the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, or the Trailblazers all snatching that.
The problem is the Pelicans have 3 players with Corona, and if one of those is Zion and Brandon Ingram, then they're not making it.
Yeah, but they also have a pretty easy schedule.
Yeah.
But even if it goes to a play-in, I would still take the Grizzlies.
So
Yeah.
I just I want to go through these. Oh, sorry, Aditya, can you send that picture again? I fucked up.
Yeah.
So so the only like really major change to my list was I had the Rockets leapfrogging. I believe it was the Thunder and the Jazz. To
They're
become
all like
the
one
4
game
seed.
apart, so it's not
Yeah.
super
Yeah,
outlandish.
the Rockets, Jazz, and Thunder are all within one game. So those 3, I can definitely see them getting shaken up a bit. I could even see the Thunder potentially jumping up to the 4 seed because they've been playing really well.
Yeah.
But people are gonna see that and be like, oh, what about playoff Harden and Westbrook? But like my counter
Well,
to
it's not
that
for
is
playoffs. This is just regular season seeding.
yeah, but this like the bubble teams like this is basically an early playoff. Like it's sort of like a play-in tournament almost, like just to decide seeding. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be. You're right. It's not the playoffs, but it's gonna have the cliched playoff atmosphere or whatever for all the games. But I had the Rockets jumping them because first of all, playoff Harden and Westbrook, whatever. But James Harden has had almost 4 months off, which is huge for him. At that point, he will have had 4 months off, 4.5.
Yeah.
Which, for the history of James Harden, pretty damn good. James Harden is really historically best around mid-season. He sort of plays himself into shape sometimes, but I don't really see that being a huge problem. I feel like James Harden is at the point in his career where he knows that during a long break like this, he cannot let himself get out of shape. So I think the personal discipline, especially with like all the strip clubs not being open, I think that's probably
I think
better.
that'll be a problem, dude.
Well, didn't that picture come out of James Harden and he was like thin?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
lost a lot of weight, I think.
Because
He and
strip clubs are
Jokic
closed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had the Rockets staying at 5. The only major change I had was the Jazz falling to the 7 seed because I think everyone on that team now is gonna just not get along with Rudy Gobert. And like I know on court they try to keep it professional, but I could see it having an actual impact on that team, especially because like 4 through 7 are all like 2 or 3 games apart.
Yeah, and if Luka plays like he does in 2K, you know they're going to the championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Luca and Kristaps, the way they kind of gel coming back from this, which they were already gelling well, but like the way that they're able to play after this is going to be a big factor on the West seeding because I could see them jumping, as far as up to the 4 or 5 seed if they play really, really well. Like if they go like 7-1 or 8-0.
Well, according to
Because
Luca's
again,
trainer, he's not in game shape.
yeah, that's a problem.
Is he even in the States yet?
I don't know.
I don't think so. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Luka could probably not be in game shape and still give you a 30-point triple-double.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so I'm just drawing out a little bracket here, so
All
to
right, you
help
want us
keep
to go
track of
into
it.
our playoff predictions while you do
Yeah.
that? You can go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I'll start with the Eastern Conference. So, in the first round, I got the Bucks-Wizards matchup. I got 4-0 Bucks. I don't think the Wizards take a game, even with Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
He'd have to drop like 70 in a game for them to win, in my opinion.
And they're still the worst defensive team in the league.
And then the Raptors versus Magic. I gave the Magic one game. They took the game off them last year. They might do it again. So I got 4-1 Raptors. Then the 3-6 matchup, the Celtics versus Pacers. I think the Pacers do a little better than they did last year. So I think they go 4-1. They win the one game. They don't get swept, but they get close to it. And then the final matchup in round 1 in the East, I have the Heat versus the 76ers, and I think this will be a pretty close series. So I had this one going 7 games, and the Heat coming out on top.
Ooh. All right. I'll do mine. So I also had the exact same matchups. Bucks go 4-0, Raptors go 4-1 just because they did last year. I have Celtics beating the Pacers 4-1, but I actually have the Heat beating the Sixers 4-1 because they are the Sixers' kryptonite.
I think that this break might help the Sixers locker room, and I think they might get some things figured out.
Yeah.
But who knows? If they don't get anything figured out between when they last played and now, then yeah, I could totally see them losing in 5 games.
The thing, I don't even know how much of their problems are in the locker room. Their on-court fit just isn't there.
Yeah, I don't think that team gels together.
Yeah. We've talked about this before, but Elton Brand is a GM that instead of trying to build a championship team that meshes well and can play well together, he just goes for as many big names as he can. He doesn't really care about a fit. And the problem with that is Brett Brown will probably lose his job because of that.
Sixers
All right.
fans might hate me, but I honestly think they should get rid of Joel Embiid.
That's the one player they shouldn't get rid of.
No, I think they could win with Ben Simmons if they make him the leader of the team.
And just get like 4 spot-up shooters and Ben Simmons.
They're both like MVP caliber
Well, it
players.
wouldn't even
on their
have to
own.
be a spot up shooter. If you like somehow got a guy like Bradley Beal on the team, that would be really good with Ben Simmons at the 1-2.
Yeah.
Bradley Beal for Joel Embiid, straight up trade. Just straight up
I mean,
swap.
the Wizards might do that if John Wall plays fine.
And
I would actually like to
John
see-
Wall and Joel Embiid would be pretty.
That would be
good,
sick,
too.
actually.
Yeah.
All right, I've got mine. All right, so I have the Bucks beating the Wiz 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have the Celtics beating the Pacers 4-0. And then I have the Raps beating the Magic 4-0. And then I have the Heat beating the 76ers 4-2.
Bro,
So I have 3
the
sweeps and a
Magic took a
16
game
series.
off the Raptors last season, bro. You don't see that
I
happening
know they
again?
did, but I think the Raptors are too sharp right now. I want to see what they can do in the bubble, but I think that
Magic have home court
they
advantage.
were so sharp this season. They were a little, going into the playoffs last year, they weren't exactly like the hottest team in the league. They kind of, they squeaked into that 2 seed. They didn't squeak in. They got it by a significant amount. But like they weren't like the de facto second best team in the East. There was still argument about whether the 76ers were better or not, and the Magic got him game one. Kyle Lowry was awful. I don't see that happening again this year. And then I see the Pacers getting swept. Even if Victor Oladipo plays, I think they get swept.
I think if Victor Oladipo plays, they have a higher chance of getting swept because he's not healthy yet. So
Yeah.
I see them getting swept. I see them getting swept either way. I don't think they're a good basketball team. And then I see the Bucks sweeping the Wizards easily. Like I think it could be like 3 blowouts and then like a 8-point game or something.
So what they did to the Pistons last year.
Yeah, pretty much exactly. And then I see a close-ish Heat 76ers series. I think it could be like a potential like 2-2, and then the Heat just blow the shit out of them in like game 5, like embarrass them in game 5, and then it's like a 15-point win in game 6. Because even though Spoelstra is like, he's got that magic zone that just kills Joel Embiid. That's I don't see that working 4 out of 4 games. I don't see that being a sweep. I see the Sixers maybe kind of figuring it out, and then they just get boned on because I think that Joel Embiid's probably more likely than not going to be out of shape.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think Bam will dominate him in the series. On the
I don't know about
defensive end.
dominate, but yeah, defensively, I think there could be a couple games where Joel gets like maybe only puts up like a 15 and 8 stat line.
I'm
going
gonna keep coming back to this because it's super embarrassing. Joel Embiid had a game where he shot 0 of 11 from the field and had 0 points.
Yeah.
So, like that could probably happen.
All right, you guys want to hit your Western Conference predictions?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were just gonna do the whole East first.
Oh, are we?
We can do the whole East, or we can alternate.
I'm going whatever.
I kind of thought we were going to do it round by round.
Let's just do the Western Conference.
Alright.
I can start.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
in the 1 versus 8 matchups, Lakers versus Grizzlies, the Lakers definitely win this series, but I have it 4-1. I think Ja can come out and win a game. I think he can win a game against LeBron. And then the next series I have is the Clippers and Mavs, which is the 2-7, and I have the Clippers winning 4-2. Unless Luka puts up a 40-point triple-double like he does in any 2K sim, I don't see the Mavs winning that series. And then the next series is the Nuggets versus Thunder. And this one I actually have an upset. I have the Thunder beating the Nuggets 4-3 because I think this Thunder team is actually pretty good. I think they're good enough to be the 4 seed. They just happen to be a 6 seed in my rankings. And then Rockets Jazz, 4-0. There's no chance. The Jazz just have no hope of beating the Rockets ever. So
There you go.
All right. Aditya, you want to hit it?
Yeah. So my 1-8 is the same. Lakers Grizzlies. Lakers win in 5. I think first game, John Morant is gonna have like a 30, 10, and 8 game. Jaren Jackson Jr. will drop 30. He won't foul out, and Brandon Clark will drop 25, and they'll take game 1 and then lose the other 4 by like 20 points.
Dude, that would actually be the height of the playoffs for me if that happened.
That'd be insane. My 2-7 is Clippers Jazz. I have Clippers winning 4-1 because, as I already said, I don't see the Jazz playing well together anymore. Then I have Thunder Rocket. Oh no, Mavericks Clippers, and I have Mavericks Nuggets. I read that wrong. I have Nuggets 4-2 because I think they're just an insanely deep team, and the Mavericks, while they have Luka and Kristaps, their team isn't as deep. So when it gets to like later parts of the game, I'd take the Nuggets. And then in Thunder Rockets, I have the Thunder 4-2 because James Harden and Russell Westbrook are bad playoff performers. So there you go.
So you see the Jazz winning it?
No, the Clippers beat the Jazz 4-1 because the Jazz won't play well together.
Oh, got it. Okay. Sorry, I messed up. I thought you had the same seating. Okay.
No.
All right. So my first round, I think Ryan and I had the exact same pretty much the exact
You did.
same endings. I had the Lakers. I see. Okay, so for the first round, I think that the seeding is gonna basically stay the same in the West, except for like maybe a few shuffles, and then the 8 seed's pretty volatile. I could see the Grizzlies and the Pelicans taking a game off the Lakers. I don't see Portland being able to do it. I just don't see it. So I have the Grizzlies taking a game off the Lakers, but I don't think it'll be game one. I think it would probably be like game 2 or 4, maybe. Like maybe they prevent the sweep last minute. Then my 3-6, I've got the Nuggets beating the Thunder 4-3. Um, this really all depends on what kind of shape Jokic is in, and all signs point to him being in great shape. Um, so I think it could be a weird series, like the Spurs Nuggets series was last year. If you guys remember, the Spurs damn near won that series. That
But
was
LaMarcus Aldridge held the ball at the top of the key when they were losing.
Yeah, that's painful. That was painful. So I could
That's pretty
see the
funny.
Nuggets. I think maybe this could be the Nuggets coming out party in the playoffs. Maybe they come out and they're like, they beat the shit out of the 6 seed and whatever. But I kind of don't see it happening. I could see them winning 4-3 or 4-2. I have it as 4-3 against the Thunder. And then I have the Clippers beating the Mavs 4-2 as well. But that could just as easily be 4-1. And then I have the Rockets beating the Jazz 4-1. I see the Jazz maybe taking a game off of them, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a sweep.
I mean, historically, Jazz haven't done it.
Yeah, historically, well, I think it's usually a 5-game series when they play it. I think it was 5 games last year, and I think the year before it
Wasn't it
might have
4?
also been.
What series?
No, it was 5
Rockets
last year.
Jazz.
I don't know. I just know the Rockets have beaten them like 2 times in a row. Pretty
Yeah,
handedly.
it was no more than 5 games back to back years, but I think it was 5 games both.
All right, we can do East second round.
Yeah.
So
Okay, hold on. I gotta go calm down the dogs.
Okay. Ryan, did he pause the recording by any chance?
the microphone recording.
Yeah.
No. Should I pause it?
No. It's good. We can just vamp for a little bit. So,
No.
who do you think has the best chance? Who do you think has the best chance of kind of playing their team into the playoffs? Of like guys like Devin Booker, Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, those sorts of guys. Like guys who are like still on the bubble a little bit, but could get in.
I'd have to go with if someone was gonna do it, in my opinion, it'd be Damian Lillard with the Trailblazers
I definitely
because
agree.
he can go like a 2-week stretch and drop 50 like 10 times. So he definitely could just come out and just dominate. I don't think that they're gonna end up making it in, but if someone was to do it, I'd go with Damian Lillard.
I would for sure. I would say him. But the problem with Dame is his team's been pretty garbage this year. If they do get Yusuf Nurkic and Zach Collins back, that will change. But I think that somebody on the New Orleans Pelicans could do it. I think that it could be Zion, or I think it
What
could
are
be
we
Brandon
talking
Ingram.
about?
We were just talking about of the guys on the bubble, like Devin Booker, Zion, Damian Lillard, those sorts of guys. Who do you think is the most likely to be able to play their team into the playoffs?
Oh,
And we both kind of said Dame, and I was also saying that maybe somebody on the Pelicans could do it because they have the easiest remaining schedule, and
Yeah,
they have a better overall team. I would
I'd
say
say
than the Portland
Dame,
does.
just because now you don't have to have Hassan Whiteside and Carmelo Anthony playing 30 minutes a game.
Yeah. There's a big echo that was not there. Are you guys like closer together?
I think Aditya's mic might have been muted.
Oh yeah. Good call.
Oh, okay.
And he
Um,
was just picking up on mine earlier.
Oh, okay.
all right.
all
So
right,
we're doing
so-
East second round.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll start it off with the Bucks Heat series. I actually have this one as like really close. I have the Bucks winning 4-3. I think the Heat match up really well against the Bucks. Bam held Giannis to one of his worst performances all season, and I'm not sure, but I think the Heat might be like 3-0. They're either 3-0 or 2-0 against the Bucks this year, and part of that's been because they have the length to defend Giannis and stop him from just like having his way. I mean, he'll still probably put up 25-30, but it's a harder earned 25-30 than what he normally
Yeah.
does, and he has to
He'll
spend
get
more
banged
energy
up
doing
more.
that. But the one concern is probably Jimmy Butler and his finger injury or whatever.
I think it was wrist.
Wrist. Yeah, something with his hand. Because if that's like bothering him, they rely on him to definitely score the ball quite a bit. And they're also a team that can just like, they have 3 or 4 guys that can just get hot, like Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn, and Goran Dragic off the bench is really good. He's been coming off the bench for that team for forever, but he's been really good. And then the other matchup that I have is the Raptors Celtics, and I have the Raptors winning that one 4-2. These are both really deep teams, but I just think the Raptors are a little better. They had that stretch where they won like 19 games in a row, and I definitely can see the Raptors like replicating some of that energy and making it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do mine. I have Bucks Heat as well. I have the Bucks winning 4-3. I would go with the Heat in this one, but I think a big concern is that a lot of their team is super young. It's like Tyler Harrow, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn. I mean, Bam was there last year, so he has a little more playoff experience, but they're all still a pretty young team, and the game does change up in the playoffs. So I just gave the Bucks a little bit of an advantage because their team's older and more experienced. And then in the Celtics-Raptors matchup, I have the Celtics winning 4-3. It'll be really close, but I think not having Kyrie Irving there and having someone supportive like Kemba Walker will make a big difference for that team because he probably won't go 7 of 22 and then say he won't do it again and then shoot 6 of 22. You know, he's more of a team-oriented player.
I feel like if Kemba Walker was like 3 of 10, he'd probably just stop shooting and give it to somebody else. Like if he
Yeah,
started off a game just shooting really badly, I feel like he probably would not try to shoot himself out of it like Kyrie Irving would.
yeah, because he's not that type of player. He's, from
Yeah.
what we know at least, he's a really like good teammate.
Okay, I had thought
Yeah.
of the Heat and Bucks played more, but apparently they've only played a couple times, and they did. The Heat are 2-0, and in the second game that they played, Giannis was held to 13 points and 15 rebounds.
Yeah. And when it comes to games like that, you just gotta hope guys like Chris Middleton can take over.
Yeah.
All right, Aiden, what's yours?
All right, so mine is I have the Bucks beating the Celtics. I have them beating the Celtics 4-2. Because I think that the Celtics I think that they do to an extent match up better with really most teams in the East than they did last year. Um, Defensively, because they have a player like a basically an all-purpose defensive guard who can guard pretty much anybody 1 through 5, and Marcus Smart. And Jason Tatum's become a little bit of a better defender this year. Nothing like what Pascal Siakam or like what the box and one was with the Raptors last year. Um, but I think he could maybe do a little bit more on defense. Like he's not going to completely be like a sad puppy on defense, kind of like he was last year. Um,
Yeah. I think a
and then
lot
I
of that
think that
also has to
Kemba
do with
Walker.
Kyrie destroying that team's confidence.
Yeah, well, I think that Kemba Walker's just leadership overall is going to provide to some wins. I think that that's going to be big for them. And then Jalen Brown is a much better scorer this year and really just a much better player overall. So I could see them taking 2 games on the Bucks, but obviously I think that it's just going to be kind of a clapping for the other 4.
Yeah.
Um, and then I have the Raps beating the Heat 4-2. because the Raptors right now are one of the hottest teams in the league. I believe they went into the
Wait,
break.
do you say the Raptors are beating the Heat?
Yeah, I have them because I have the Raptors as my 2 and the Heat as my 4.
So do we. It'll be Bucks Heat in the first round. Or in the second round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Because
shit, you're right.
the 1 seed plays the 4-5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I messed that up. Okay, so never mind. Okay, I have the Bucks beating the Heat. I have the Bucks beating the Heat 4-2. That doesn't really change anything. I have the Bucks beating the Heat 4-2, and then the Raptors beating the Celtics 4-2. Because even though defensively the Heat do match up really well with the Bucks, I think at this point the Heat are just too young. Like I think in like a year or two, I think that they could probably beat the Bucks, but I just think right now the Heat are too young. I think that Mike Budenholzer is, Spoelstra is a great coach, but I think that Mike Budenholzer's just got a better squad to go up against
Mm-hmm.
Spoelstra. Obviously with Giannis, I think that Giannis could body Bam Adebayo. I don't think it's gonna be like horrible, but I do think that Giannis of the players in the East, I think that Giannis has the best chance of going up against Bam Adebayo and doing well. And then I think that Jimmy Butler could struggle a little bit against Chris Middleton, especially because Chris Middleton, when Giannis is out, is one of the best players in the league. And he gets kind of. I think that the Heat could maybe overlook him in their defensive scheme and just look at stopping Giannis, and that could leave Chris Middleton open to do some damage. So that's how I see that series going. And then I've got Raptors Celtics, and I see the Raptors winning 4-2. The Raptors are just more experienced. I would say that Nick Nurse is probably a better coach than Brad Stevens right now. Their defense is better. I think that Pascal Siakam is the best player on the court in that series when he plays. And then I think that Marc Gasol is going to be crucial to stopping guys, the drivers on that Celtics team. Marcus Smart is going to be kind of a defensive X factor for the Celtics. If he can play well, then I think that they could get maybe a couple more games. But overall, I see the Raptors pretty handily winning 4-2. As handily as you can win in 6.
Solid.
All right, so let's go to the West.
Yeah.
Oh, DTO, mute your mic, by the way.
It is.
Oh.
Okay, in the West, round 2, I got Lakers Rockets in the 1-4 matchup, or 1-5, whatever I had them, and I have that 4-2 Lakers. I just think the Lakers are a better team than the Rockets. The Rockets definitely have the firepower to compete with the Lakers at times, but I don't think they'll do enough to win the series. And then the other series between the Clippers and Thunder, I also have it 4-2. I think Kawhi will take the Clippers past the Thunder, but I do think Chris Paul will lead that Thunder team to a win or two in that series, and it won't just be a complete blowout. But that's what I have for the West.
All right. Aditya?
I have the Lakers Thunder, and I have the Lakers winning that 4-1, just because the Lakers are a better team. And then I have Nuggets Clippers, and I think Clippers win 4-3, just for this. Kawhi's a different monster in the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay, so I have Lakers Rockets. I see the Rockets actually getting a couple games on the Lakers. Because the Rockets are a really weird small ball sort of team. Obviously, they don't really have anybody to guard Anthony Davis and LeBron. But at the same time, the Lakers don't have anybody that can really guard James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Avery Bradley's out. Obviously, LeBron can carry some of that load, but Anthony Davis is not going to be able to defend. Even though he's a great defender, he's not going to take Harden out on the wing. He's not going to take Westbrook out on the wing. he'll be getting Westbrook in the paint when he drives, but it's not gonna be like the Rockets chucking could work against the Lakers. So
See,
I see
the
the
problem
Lakers
with
actually
that
winning that 4-3.
is like the reason I didn't have the Rockets really doing anything in the playoffs is just because of historical playoff performances. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but I think that like this, if there's any year to break that precedent, it's this one because the Rockets are coming off of 4.5 months of rest. A lot of the time when the Rockets play poorly in the playoffs, it's because James Harden's tired. James Harden is not going to be tired. He'll have played at this point at most 15 games. That's assuming that, he plays all 8 games. And then if, his first round matchup goes to 7, which it won't if they play the Jazz. So that's so he'll have played at most 15 games, probably less. He's not going to be as tired. I could see them, and I think obviously the Lakers are going to win. I don't think that's a big thing. But I could see them draw. I think of the second round matchups here, I think the Lakers could have the second most difficult time with the Rockets. The Clippers obviously being first, but I would say the Rockets second, just because of their weird sort of play style and how it doesn't and how the Lakers don't really match up well against it.
yeah.
And then I have the Clippers. I have the Clippers beating the Nuggets in 6. So the Clippers are just a better team. Like there's no doubt about it in my mind. They have the best player on the court at all times with Kawhi Leonard.
I just had it going to 7 because Paul George's playoff performances can be iffy. So I thought like some bad games here or there, and the Nuggets could push it to 7.
Yeah, I definitely can see where you're coming from with that. The I would counter that though with Kawhi Leonard is so good in the playoffs that up until last year, Kyle Lowry was not a great playoff performer, and even last year he wasn't a great playoff performer, and yet um, the Raptors won their Eastern Conference series, besides the 76ers one, relatively easily. Like, the Magic got a game on them, and the Bucks got 2 games on them. But the Raptors also reverse swept the Bucks, which if you had asked me last year if I thought that the Bucks could lose in 6, let alone lose 4 in a row in a playoff series, I would have said you're fucking nuts. But Kawhi Leonard did it. And Paul George is also like when Paul George is good in the playoffs, he's really good, like an MVP caliber player in the playoffs.
Yeah. The only
so
thing
that's
for
why
that
I
is the
see
Nuggets play style is so
happening.
much different than just about anything the Kawhi played in the playoffs last season. Right? Like point center, they have a lot of spacing. It's very different from like the Bucks. So that's why I just think they could push it a little further.
Aditya, are you really far away from your mic? Because I can't really hear you that well.
Because Ryan's far away. Because my mic's muted, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Did you already give your...
All right, so now let's move on.
Yeah, I gave my second round for both of them.
All right, now we're doing conference finals in the East.
Yeah.
You want to give yours?
All right, so Eastern Conference Finals, Ryan.
So, in the Eastern Conference Finals, I got Bucks, Raptors, and, this is where some controversy might be drawn. Can you not hear me?
Ryan, you're cutting out. Yeah, you just cut out a decent amount.
He had Bucks, Raptors, and then he said he had some controversy.
Yeah, I have Bucks, Raptors.
Yeah. It's a bad mic, but this mic over here is picking it up.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Bucks, Raptors. Little bit of controversy here. I got Raptors winning it in 7.
What?
4-3. I just think the Raptors. I think they're gonna make it. I think they're gonna take out the Bucks and make it to the finals. I mean, you got Patrick McCaw, you got the 4-peat dream, 4 for 4.
Patrick McCaw.
I think they just have what it takes. to make it there. They're really deep. Got like 13 guys that can play really well. But yeah.
I did not have that. I had Bucks
All right,
Celtics
Aditya?
in the conference finals, and I had Bucks winning 4-3. Giannis kind of completely shat on the Celtics last year in the playoffs. But again, Kyrie Irving not being there, I think really helps. They did lose Al Horford, which isn't great. But like you said earlier, Jason Tatum's improved defensively. Marcus Smart's really good at guarding bigger players. I think they can push the Bucks, but I still will take the Bucks 4-3.
All right. I have I've got Bucks Raptors in the conference finals, and I have the Bucks beating them 4-2. I think everybody's sort of forgetting that the Bucks were easily the best team in the league this year, and I don't see that really stopping in the playoffs. I think that Giannis has gotten a lot of experience. I think he learned a lot from last year, and I don't think the box and one is going to be as successful without Kawhi guarding Giannis at the top of the key. Like they'd probably put Pascal on him, which could
Giannis
slow him down a
also,
little bit, but
he definitely has a more respectable 3 this season. Like, you can't just sit in the paint on him anymore.
yeah. You're not going to leave the Raptors can't leave him open, which kind of destroys the whole concept of the defensive scheme they used last year. Because the whole thing was just like, all right, Giannis is not going to shoot it, so just stop him when he gets in the paint. But obviously that's not going to work this year because Giannis is going to shoot it now. So that's how I see it going. I don't think the Raptors, Kawhi Leonard is on Giannis's level. I don't see the Raptors. The Raptors don't have a player on Giannis's level this year. Kawhi Leonard is gone.
Yeah.
Pascal Siakam, really good, great even, but he's just not on Giannis's level. He's not a MVP caliber player like Kawhi is.
Aiden, can you hear me still?
Yeah.
All
What'd
right,
you guys
so
do?
we're good, yeah. We're switching it up so then all this stuff goes through my mic instead of Ryan's.
Okay.
But-
all right, so Western Conference.
Yeah. Ryan, you want to give your Western Conference?
Yeah, so my Western Conference is the Lakers and Clippers, and I got the Clippers beating the Lakers 4-2 because I
Ooh.
think Paul George and Kawhi will be enough to get the job done. And yeah, I just don't think the Lakers are winning this year. I think they needed that wing defense with Avery Bradley, and I think him being gone is like a pretty big loss. And Dwight Howard hasn't even said whether or not he's playing, and he's been pretty solid for them this year.
Mm-hmm.
So that would also be another big loss, and that would be 2 key players that they might be missing out.
I had so I also had Lakers Clippers. I had the Lakers winning 4-3 because I think Paul George will severely underperform. And also Anthony Davis is I think he's gonna have a really good series because the Clippers' best big man is Montrez, and while he's really good and tough and gritty, he's also like 6'8". So I think Anthony Davis will also have a good series. So I just had to give the Lakers the edge on that.
All right. I have the Clippers winning that series 4-3. So not as easily as Ryan thinks they will win it, but I don't see them losing it. And here's why. So Paul George, I hate him. I hate him so much. I hate him with every bone in my body. However, and I don't want to say this, but I feel like once he gets to the conference finals again, which he hasn't been to in 6 years. Yeah, 6 years, 2013-14 season. I think because he was great in those series. I think there's no doubt about it. That was his coming out party as a star in the league. I think he could start playing really well again. Along with Kawhi fucking Leonard. People forget because LeBron and Kawhi have not played in a playoff series in 6 years. It's that same season, 2013-14. Um, People forget how much LeBron hates playing against Kawhi Leonard. LeBron does not like being guarded by Kawhi Leonard because Kawhi Leonard knows how to slow him down. Kawhi Leonard's a great defender. And I think that the defensive 1-2 punch of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, both playing at least good defense at the same time, which good defense for Kawhi Leonard is still all NBA defense, and good defense for Paul George is still, top 90th percentile in the league. Paul George is a great defender even when he's average. So I think that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, both playing defense at the same time, would be enough to slow down LeBron. And then I think that I think making Anthony Davis the main producer on that team is gonna hurt them. I think that especially him playing against Montrezl Harrell in the post, I think that's gonna hurt. And the other thing that we have to think about is the Clippers. There is not a player on the Lakers besides LeBron James and Anthony Davis that's better than Lou Williams or Montrezl Harrell. There just isn't. The Clippers have a significantly deeper team. Even without Paul George, they have a deeper team. So that's why I think that they've kind of got it. I think they've got the advantage right now. I'm not forgetting about LeBron. LeBron stands don't come for me because I know that he's going to be a god in the playoffs. I know that he's going to play really well. And I know that if they lose in the Western Conference Finals, he's still going to put up a crazy stat line. But I think that crazy stat line could come in some losses. And I think that the Clippers are, this season, the best equipped team in the entire league, not just the West, the entire league to beat the Lakers. So I've got the Clippers winning it in 7.
Solid. All right, finals matchups. What do you got?
Okay. So we got the Raptors and the Lakers here.
I think you had Clippers.
Oh yeah, Clippers. Sorry. One of the LA teams. And I have the Clippers winning 4-2. I'm all about the 4-peat dream, but I don't think it's gonna happen in a year like this. I think the Clippers are just too talented to lose that series, and I think this is where the Raptors just fall up just short of a repeat title for the city of Toronto.
I had my finals being Bucks-Lakers. I think if this is the matchup, Lakers will win 4-3 just because in the most recent game that the Lakers and Bucks played, LeBron kind of held Giannis to like 14 points or something crazy. And he has more playoff experience. And again, I think he's just going to dominate, do LeBron things. That being said, if the Clippers do make it to the finals, I have them beating the Bucks. But yeah.
So either way, you have the West beating the East.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got so I have Bucks Clippers in the finals. And I actually have the Clippers winning it. I have them winning it 4-2. And I think that's a problem because I like Giannis being in Milwaukee. But, I can't ignore my proper judgment. As much as I'd like to say that the Bucks win that series and Giannis just signs his max extension early, they get him on the books. I don't see it happening at all. The Bucks are a great basketball team. And they are the best equipped team to win a championship in the East right now. They're contenders for sure. But I just don't see them beating the Clippers, man. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are too good on defense. Montrezl Harrell is also great defensively. And I see them being able to run a sort of variation of the big guys in the post, slowing down Giannis, even though he's a better outside shooter this year. I see them being able to run a sort of defense like that. And I don't think that the Bucks are quite as deep as the Clippers. The Clippers have basically like 4 20-point per game scores, which is wild. That the Bucks don't have. They have 2. And one of them is the league MVP. But Kawhi Leonard's the best defender in the league. So I see the Clippers, getting 4 games on the Bucks pretty easily.
Yeah.
And I also see, but I do see if it's Bucks Lakers, I do see the Bucks beating the Lakers. I see it being like a 4-3 sort of series.
Solid. So those are our playoff predictions. One thing I did want to say, ask Ryan while we have you here, if Giannis doesn't re-sign with Milwaukee because they don't win the championship, where do you see him going?
Where do I see him going? Well, have you seen that one video on Instagram where that guy went to Giannis's wiki page and clicked on a bunch of links and then got to Miami? I think if Giannis leaves the Bucks, I think he's going to the city of Miami.
At least you're very rational about it.
To team up with Jimmy Butler and the squad. I think he has the work ethic. I think he'd gel well with Jimmy Butler. And I think you put Giannis on that team, they're instant title contenders.
And they both have newborn kids, so they can bond over that.
Yep.
So I think that's all we got for this, unless you got anything you want to add.
Nope.
Aiden, you got anything to add?
Not really. Hey, I just got a message for Noah. Stop sending flight shit to the group chat. I don't want to see that ever.
I don't think telling him on this is gonna convince him, but
I don't know. It might.
All right. Well, if that's all we got,
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want more. Comment if you want Ryan back on the podcast. We can make that happen. But
nothing else to do.
Yeah, I gotta fly in or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan actually lives in Los Angeles, so it's a big commitment if we want to get him on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually
to fly him out here.
Pretty professional sports analyst.
Yeah, he works for ESPN.
Yeah. Ryan's Stephen A's understudy on First Take.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. If he ever goes down with an injury, I'm the first option.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. That's all we got. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.